Hey, it's Olga here from olgadegtyarev.com and Productivity for Scientists. This is where you overcome overwhelm, become more productive, get in charge of your day while feeling happy in your life. And the topic of today's video is the non-urgent important things. Right? We all have those important things in our mind on our mind that we know gonna make difference to our life, to our career, but they don't have deadlines or they have very far away deadlines, so they are non-urgent but they're important things, and they don't usually get done. They sleep on the back burner, they are at the back of our minds. Somehow we don't make time for them. We don't have time for them. Well, where does our time go then? Our time goes on their urgent and important things, right? Well, they are urgent, they are important, they get done, right? Our time also goes into non-important but urgent things, right? They are urgent. We know people are waiting for them, they're bugging us. When does it get done? So they also get done. They are also occupy our time, they occupy our day. And the other things that we for some reason also spend our time is on non-urgent and non-important things. Yeah, like why do we even do them, right? But we spend time on them, and this is maybe because we're just doing them on autopilot because it's easy to do to get them done, and we have that feeling we just get them out of the way and then we can go to the important things. uh, or maybe it's a way of procrastinating with important things because they're difficult, right? They're more difficult. So we get busy with those non-urgent, non-important things, but they're important ones but non-urgent. They don't get enough of our attention. They are usually, we just say, okay, I'm gonna get to them when I get all these things out of the way, when I have more time in bulk, right? If I have like a day or two or three without anything, I could just sit down and start working on them, right? And you all have them. So this is your scientific papers, this is your grant writing, grant proposals, these are your a book that you had this idea for a book, right? I have now a couple of clients who are working with me who are working on their book. And it could be your PhD thesis, right? So this could be also be non-urgent because the deadline is really far away and it doesn't feel like it's urgent, right? So all those things, we know we need to do it. We know they're important. They're going to make a difference to our life, to our career, but they don't feel urgent. So they never get done. They don't get our attention. We don't find time. We don't make time. So today I want to give you the strategy how to turn it around. And actually I want to share something that recently one of my private clients shared. A research scientist, a really bright, really successful, and then she was sharing that she could not make time. It was already a couple of months we've been working together and talking about it, and she just could not make time for this important and non-urgent project, her book. And the way she described it to you, I want to share it with you because you might recognize it. So she was saying, I get up in the morning and I try to get those urgent things out of the way, they're the maintenance things I know I need to do. I try to get them out of the way so that later in the day I have a time and I sit down and work on this important thing. But by the end of the day, you are either too exhausted or you get distracted with something else, or something else draws your attention, and then there is never enough time. Now, this is a classical mistake. I want to describe it to you in an analogy, and I hope this analogy is going to be like, whew, very powerful for you, and you're just going to turn it around and do it differently from now on. So the analogy is that your week is a jar. Imagine it's a glass jar, and in this week you need to fit the sand, pebbles, and rocks you've got in front of you. Sand, pebbles, and rocks. Rocks are your important projects, right? Those important non-urgent ones. They are rocks. They're gonna make a difference to your career, to your life. There are pebbles. They're things that need to be done to maintain your job, to maintain your life. So maybe it's your teaching, or the seminars you go, and the experiments you do in the lab, right? Routine experiments. So, and then there is sand. The sand is everything else. It's like chit chats in the corridor. Some meetings are, meetings we've got in the pebbles. There are social media. There are emails. There are all these little things we do that fill up our day. So this is all sand. And the thing is to feed it all in the jar. If we start with the sand, right? If we start first with the social media, with email, with having coffee and chit-chatting with the colleagues. So this is all sand. This is already gonna fill our jar to the third, and then the pebbles. And then the rocks, there won't be any space for them, and they're gonna always end up at their side of the jar, and there will be never time in our week for those rocks. Now we need to turn it around. We need to start with the rocks. We need to start putting in the jar of our week the rocks. And the thing is, when we put the rocks in, there is still always enough space for pebbles, right, that can go in the crevices between the rocks, and we can always put in the sand, right? It's just gonna go everywhere else in those little gaps. Right, but the main idea is that you start with the rocks. And what does that mean for our productivity and time management? Is that when we get up, we start with rocks. It's like no social media, no email, no one even knows that we are up. We are working on our book, we are working on our grant proposal, on our PhD thesis, or on our paper. Get that 1 hour, 2 hours done, right? And then get on with your day, like depending on how much time realistically you can put it. It all depends on our schedules. With one of the postdocs we worked, he started with half an hour at the beginning of the day, and this is like every day of the week. And by the end of the week, it's 5 times he would sit down and open this paper and do it. For their PhD thesis, probably you need to put more hours into this because it's just the bigger projects. But you get the idea, right? The rock needs to go first into the jar of your week. So, and when I shared it with my client, she's like, yeah, this is perfect analogy. I just need to turn it around and do my rocks first. Important non-urgent projects, do them first thing in the morning, get them done, and then keep coming to them throughout the week. And this is gonna change how quickly you get there, and how much you can achieve in the next few months, and by the end of this year. All right, this is all for today. Share this video if you know someone is struggling with this. Share this video with them, and I'll speak to you soon again. Bye.